afternoon. My name is Ralph Saju, and we have met Crystal and her team over the last 2 weeks, and she dropped me a mail and said, Ralph, would you say something? And I said, yes, Crystal, but I don't really have a full understanding of where we are heading to. But with all that, I think it's a pleasure to be here and to listen to you all speak and to feel the presence of God amongst us. Because it's only in that way that I believe we will achieve. I also come from a corporate background. And as Kaya was speaking about sharks, it was speaking to me too as well, that you come from an environment where you dictate and control and don't really respect the giftings and the purposes of others. And when we realize that all this, it takes all this to integrate into God's will, then you change from being a shark. Or you are still a shark, but you're a shark that is acknowledging growth and ensuring that it's widespread. In 2006, I formed a foundation called the Purpose Driven Foundation, which is called NIA. And the meaning of NIA is Purpose Driven Foundation. And the objective of the foundation was basically to integrate kingdom values and principles into the world of commerce. I think this is a broad statement, but it takes quite a bit of challenges that you've got to face to really get to really and truly understanding what it means. Because it gets you to understand the difference between stewardship and ownership, to truly understand the difference between a need and a want. Because anything that is a want is beyond your need, and it is a resource that God has given you that you've got to share with the many to uplift them. We are all aware of the fact that information and technology are the backbone of globalization. And in this process, in that acknowledgement, Purpose Driven Foundation has realized that within Africa there's 4 critical sectors that have got industrial sectors that have got to be looked at to make a real difference in Africa. We've looked at 3 industrial sectors, which are agriculture, mining, and infrastructural development. The initial 2 resources that we've been blessed and gifted with in Africa, a birthright of Africa which is not being respected, but raped and raided. And infrastructural development, a lack which is used by the corporates to actually depress and to oppress and to rape the economy of Africa. Now, through this process, we've then associated with an entity which is called iGELO. And that entity is an entity that's developed a software, a hardware and a software educational device. Because it's merely through the lack of knowledge and the lack of sharing of knowledge that Africa remains where it is. The device has been developed and is specifically an educational device. It's a tablet, and for the primary, secondary, and tertiary, because technology has now reached a stage where it delivers. So from one central point, you could educate the child in the middle of nowhere. And we've managed to write modules against the text of each sector's curriculum activity to be able to assist a child if a child seeks such assistance. And in that process, we are also getting teachers to actually write modules that can make text much easily understood. We've reached the point where we've integrated the private schools to right down there, the government schools or the schools which are being funded by certain organizations. And the share of information has got to flow. To that, we've also been a bit innovative in the fact that we are also seeking and developing in this iPad and cellular phones, solar cellular phones and iPads. Because we do understand that, but that's one of the problems that rural areas are facing. That if you don't have these luxuries, then you remain in the dark. And if we, the people who have been gifted with business and the understanding of being able to take this to those areas, do not act, then we fail to be good stewards. So I am actually pleased to be here and to hear that this initiative is now being expanded, and there's so many training institutions that are being put up and organizations that are getting together to really address the lack in knowledge.